that are destabilizing the whole region, to decrease their power and expand the Abraham Accord. This is strategy, and I believe we're headed that way. With President Trump, President Biden, which we thank him for his help, was restraining Israel. President Biden is President Trump is supporting Israel. And I believe that's the right attitude. In the Middle East, you got to be very aggressive with the bad guys and good with the good guys. And mind you that the peace that we have with our neighbors around, with Egypt 40 years, with Jordan 25 years, the Abraham Accord 4 years, stuck through this round of violence. They understand that we collaborate. We want a better world. We want that peace to expand. We want to see the peace expand to the Saudis and to the Indonesia and other modern Arab states. That's our interest. That would be strategy. And I believe that we've weakened that evil alliance. And strategy for us is to get there. Once we have that alignment, we decrease the power of Iran, their capabilities to use nukes. We decrease their the alliance of the Muslim Brotherhood, the jihadists. That would be strategy for us.
Minister, let me ask you about the economic impact of all of this as well, which is of course your remit. Stocks, bonds, the shekel all rose off the back of the ceasefire agreement. A ceasefire is good for markets. I think that's something we can agree on. War has not been. Where do you see Israel's economy going from this point on as a result?
I'm extremely optimistic, and I see the first signs. You know, every round of violence in our region, people look at Israel, how we get together to win the war, and we are winning the war, and we will be winning and finalizing the war to make sure it doesn't happen again. Okay, and people say, hey, if these Israelis started off in October 7 with such a deep shock and recovered, we have a very stable, strong economy. By the way, our economy right now, if you look at the markets, are higher than the S&P 500. When you look at the number of exits, number of Israeli companies that did the M&A 2024, highest ever. I see the interest as Minister of Economy and Industry. I see huge interest. People around the world are coming and saying, hey, we want what you guys have. We want to understand what ideas you guys have, because they saw how we got together and successfully turned things around in our region. And you know, if you compare it to other places in the world, in combats and wars, you see that our growth, you're going to see huge, steep growth immediately after the round of violence. I see it right now.
The ratings agencies obviously circling around Israel for some time now. Ratings agencies like Fitch, for example, say only a lasting ceasefire is going to take the pressure off the credit rating. What needs to happen now to put the ratings agencies at bay, to protect the shekel and to ensure that economic prosperity continues in war-torn Israel?
Win the war, make sure Iran pays the price, decrease the threat in the future. That's the first thing. And we understand that, and we are demonstrating that Hamas is not the same Hamas, and Hezbollah is not the same Hezbollah, and Iran, when we finish this war, is not going to be the same Iran. Neither the Houthis, okay? The ones that tried to lift their hand and hurt Israel have to pay a heavy price. That will help us expand the peace, the Abraham Accords, which I believe we're in the right direction. So the first is geopolitics. Geopolitics now with the American administration well aligned with what we're doing, with the actions that we must need to take, I think is going to be very, very important. The second thing is our DNA and our talent. Israel excels in health, life sciences. We make better health for people around the world. We do today $160 billion export, and I put a target of getting it to $1 trillion export in 15 to 20 years. People want to understand our health services, agro-tech, food tech, desert tech, climate change. You see many people interested in our finance and high-tech, classic high-tech, and of course defense and advanced industries. These business clusters we excel in. We have 10,000 startups that are seeking to market their goods around the world. Mind you that we're only 10 million people strong. So for every Israeli, there are 1,000 non-Israelis. So there's huge markets out there waiting for us. And we're very, very happy to engage around the world. We're open for business, and we're doing good business now.
If you're open for business, let me ask you about prospects for more regional integration and cooperation as well. President Trump is, of course, the architect of the Abraham Accords. How do you see that evolving in the year and years ahead? And how close are we to real regional integration and a deal with Saudi Arabia?
It goes together with the threat of Iran. The ones that the region will not fear Iran as they did in the past, and I think we're in the right direction there. It'll be even easier to expand the deals. Mind you that our 40 years peace with Egypt.
Does Saudi Arabia want to do business with
Yes, they
Israel right now?
Of course they do. Mind you that we have
What makes you so confident, though?
40 years of peace with Egypt, 25 years with Jordan, 4 years with the Abraham Accords. We know, we hear them. We understand their will, their goal. They've decided that they want to expand their peace with and to be much, much more friendly with the Western world and Israel. As Minister of Economy, we have so much to offer them to create win-win deals, not just in their new city that they're building, but we have a lot of technology that I know they're very interested, and we're very interested. And they are, from our perspective, a strategic partner to have.
Coming up, we shift gears to the energy space and get you more interviews from our special Davos coverage. The OMV CEO Alfred Stern and DTEC CEO Maxim Timchenko. Capital Connection will be right back.